Hey Cardfighters, Chris here from Vanguard Central, bringing you a Maiden of Rambling Rose deck profile. So we'll start with just the strides, because I think it's a bit easier to start with that and then explain why the rest of the deck is the way it is. We have 3 Multivitamin Dragon. I think this card is really underappreciated. If you can set it up right and you can put in the work to get all the power, it can definitely be as strong as Sanctuary Guard Regalia, in my opinion. It's a very good stride just to help you while you're getting set up for your full field. Next we have 2 of the Asha stride, and I really like this card because it's another good early option. It helps you set up the Generation Break 2 provided you do go into Asha. Also gives you the name and helps you power up your columns for an early push, which some people can't really deal with. And then we have 1 Blizza to set up GB2 or go for a power play late. 1 Primavera to help you set up your field if you're behind or you got a lot of your cards retired, things like that. And 1 Arborea if you want to provide that on hit pressure and stuff. One consideration we're making to the deck is getting another 2 Ashas, and if I do that, I'll probably be taking out 1 Blizza, the 1 Blizza and the 1 Arborea for the 2 Ashas. If you didn't see, the starter is Ozu, because it does help set up well for Multivitamin Dragon. For the grade 3s, we have 4 Maiden of Rambling Rose, the main card of the deck. This is just because it kind of acts like the cross where you can re-legion by itself pretty easily, and I really like that because it kind of gives you this late game ability to hang in there that Neo Nectar doesn't usually have. 4 Mates Maiden of Trailing Rose. This is because the Legion Rambling Rose searches out a copy of cards on the Vanguard, so you basically need 2 copies of either Trailing Rose or Rambling Rose in your deck, or you can get 1 of each, and you need to get that every time you Legion, so you just want to max them out. And we have the 1 Asha, just in case you really want it. It can be good, as I said, for Multivitamin Dragon. Asha is absolutely amazing, so just the 1 is going to be good. For grade 2s, we have 2 Maiden of Flower Screen. This is for name copying. I find that name copying isn't as important in this deck as it is in traditional Maiden decks. This is more about calling the cards at the right time for multivitamin, or if you do have the field, you can go into Asha to get some extra power, and this comes in handy for that, getting the 2 names just to get the power from Asha. And like I said in one of the older Neo Nectar profiles, this deck is more built for the less optimum scenarios rather than the optimal scenarios. So you're focused more on getting what you can rather than always being at full power. Right? So the next card will be Wisteria Knight. This card is just crazy. If you have another copy of Wisteria Knight, he basically gets the ability to counterblast 1, draw a card when he hits a Vanguard. So he's going to provide a lot of on-hit pressure, especially when you're powering him up with either Multivitamin or with the Asha stride. And lastly, for the grade 2s, we're running 4 Knight of Mare Dream. So we're running the Mare Dream engine for this deck. The reason for that is because they let you swap in and out, kind of bouncing back and forth between themselves. It not only helps you set up your field consistency, but also helps you consistently do Multivitamin Dragon plays. And that consistency for Multivitamin Dragon plays is something I think is really strong. For grade 1s, we have 2 Stride Fodders. You don't really need to stride a lot in this deck, just because of the Legion. You're able to Legion if you can't stride, and the Legion actually puts a grade 3 in your hand, so if you don't have anything to stride with, you can go for the Legion and then stride again next turn, which is why we only have 2. It's also a good way to go for Asha if you really need her for that matchup. Next, we have 4 Maiden of Kana. This is really good, again, for power plays. Combined with Multivitamin Dragon, you can get just some huge numbers, and helps you use up any spare counterblast you have to power up your field even more once you've set it up perfectly. And lastly, we have 4 Mare Hopes, as I said again, just for the bouncing Mare Hope engine. and always being able to take advantage of Multivitamin Dragon, which is one of the more powerful Neo Nectar strides in my opinion. And lastly, for 100% orange, not only because it is adorable, but because it protects your rear guards, and that is something that can be really important in this deck. Having the unflipping PGs is great and all, but having your rear guards that you need to be able to copy is also very important. Lastly, we'll go into the triggers. We have 4 of the Asha crits that can be put into the soul, and that's good. You can build up a little soul, which isn't really used in the deck, but one silly thing to note is even if you don't get the 1 Asha in the deck, if you stride the grade 4 Asha, you actually get the Ranunculus name, and you can use the crit trigger to be put into the soul and cycle it out. Just a cool tidbit if you need to use it. We ran 4 of the stands because they're just insane. Being able to split up 5k power twice among your columns can really just devastate your opponent. 4 draws because sometimes you just need to fill up the field, and field is very important for Neo Nectar. And lastly, we have 4 heals. I hope you guys liked the Rambling Rose deck profile. Please give us a like, it helps out a lot. Comment down below if you have any questions, any comments on the video, and subscribe for more content. Vanguard Central, out.